What's up, everybody? Go ahead and do a little group share while y'all come in. How about we get it in there? Alright, let's get it. Today, I want to talk to y'all about the history of the Jedi. History and myths of the Jedi, actually. And where they came from. What's up, Christina Cood? Where they came from. What they was about. And I want to do it. I also want to do is separate the truth from reality. What's real and what's not. So let me get started. Now, the Jedi, which is, a very popular term. Y'all have heard the term Star Wars on multiple occasions. Eli here, did you get my text? Nah, Eli, I didn't get no text. But yes, Jedi. They came from an old group of beings. They're heralded out there in Lower Egypt, which is northern Egypt, and the area was known as Mendes. And you talking about what the Greeks called the coat of Mendes, but in actuality, what Mendes actually means is Djedet, Djedtet, and it also their capital city was Djedi, Djedu. So. In actuality, we thinking these people weren't real, but they were real. They were real beings living out there in northern Egypt, and they had this concept known as the Djed Pillar. The Djed Pillar was this energetic power that connected two worlds. These two worlds they talking about is your physical and your spiritual. So the Djed Pillar represents in anatomy your spine, and the Kundalini power that sleeps around your root chakra that you have yet to awaken to rise up out of your crown and to become one with the universe and nature itself. This is the force that they are talking about, and there's many different. I want to talk about the Djed Pillar a little bit. There's many different cool things about the Djed Pillar that you should know. It comes in many Jedi stories in the forms of it's the scepter that Jehuti carried. It's, matter of fact, Jehuti Set, cause Set, the priesthood of Set is where the Sith are derived from. So just check that, just tell you that. But Jehuti, being the master of wisdom, is where you get the personification of Jedi. So let's see, you had the scepter. That was one version. It's also Excalibur. Now I want to take a moment to tell you about Excalibur. Excalibur is the sword of truth, of the what they call a holy sword, or also your spine when it's used as a force. If the scepter is the magical force, then the sword is the active force. If the scepter is the magician's ability to cast spells, incantations, and things like that, then the sword is the ability to discharge, represents the ability to discharge immediate applications like force push, levitation, telekinesis, firebending, so on and so forth. So that's when what I want to tell y'all is there were stories in the Arthurian text, and they tell you, and there's a popular movie that came out last year called King Arthur. And in the movie, only people with Jedi blood, the Jedi power, the Jedi force, could pull the sword out of the rock. And the rock represents your base awakening. Your base awakening. And the base awakening usually deals with your raw force. The force you have yet to harness, but it's still guiding you to where you need to be. So that's the base awakening. And it is represented on the Djedi pillar in the form of these 3 prongs here. This is the first awakening. This represents the first awakening of raw force. Then the second one represents your subconscious awakening. This is when in the movie. This is when what's the guy's name? Arthur throws the sword in the lake, and the lady of the lake comes to him, which the lady of the lake just represents his inner deity in his subconscious mind. She comes to him and gives him his prophecies and what will happen if he don't do nothing about it. And he takes the sword again, because there was these little encryptions on the sword. When he took the sword, when he took Excalibur out of the rock the first time, the first one lit up. That was representing his base awakening. Then when she gave him back the sword after the prophecies and everything, because after a while you gotta go see your inner self, your higher self, your true self, your inner deity. And he had a magical awakening, a magical subconscious awakening then. So the second encryption activated. Then later on in the movie, when he had to go into the Dark Tower to fight, I forget the guy's name now, but he had to fight this dude in a final boss battle. And you know, anytime you see a dark tower, the dark haunted tower, the dark haunted house, you're dealing with airing out the demons, traumas, and what's the word I'm looking for? Blockages of your subconscious mind. All the generational fear that's built up in your DNA. This is what the haunted house, the haunted dark tower represents, and it comes in many shapes and forms. And you have to go through each door, each room, and clean it out and air it out. So you got to filter all the energy out, throw it all out of there. So and the more you do it, the lighter you become, and the more prepared for your ascension you become. So at some point in this the dark haunted house, the dark haunted tower, you're going to fight the final boss character in your magical training ground, and he usually going to be your equal in strength, and you have to fight him. And while you fighting this dude, you have to tap into your force, your internal power, your monstrous soul. And monstrous soul, like I tell y'all, is a calyptic term, which represents your raw, untapped, and untamed power of your soul, which you have yet to harness. Well, this is what he had to do. This is what the third prong represents. He, which is what I call the final awakening. This prong here, yeah, this prong here, and this represents his final awakening to fight over. Because at first he was getting his ass kicked, like always, because he was his match, he was his equal in power, in magical power. So he had to reach deep down inside and pull out his true power, and this is when he had his final awakening, or what we call Kundalini awakening, and unleashed his true powers. And he defeated the final boss. Now the final dungeon, the final boss, the final haunted house is what y'all call in the Bible, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, no harm shall come against me. What's up, Miss Me? That's what you're dealing with here. That valley of the shadow of death. That final stage in the calyptic energy of your subconscious mind. So you can deal with those monstrous energies, so that you can master those monstrous energies and have them work for you. So yeah, Christina Cool is that the third or fourth what, Christina? And let's see, and it's also what you would like to call the lightsaber. Yeah, as well. So you looking at this is if this the picture of the Djedi pill, and it's just turned upside down, right? So this is what it look like downside up. But when it's turned upside down, what it look like the basis of a lightsaber hilt. And this is what a lightsaber hilt look like. So there you go. This is where George Lucas got his information from, right here. The teachings of the Djedi pillar, the power of the spine, the power of your sword, your magical sword, your magical weapons. This is what it deals with. And the lightsaber comes with its own teachings. You know, like I told y'all in my old Jedi Sith video, the lightsaber deals with your chakra rituals. That's why it's different colors. Like, it can deal with the draconian survival instincts of the root chakra, which is the red ray. It can deal with the willful personal powers of the solar plexus, which is the yellow ray. But which I mostly see is the green and blue ray, which deals with the empathic forces of the heart chakra, or the truth-seeking forces of the throat chakra. And of course, you got the purple ray, the orange ray, and they have their own trials and rituals as well. So this is what the lightsaber represent. It's always somebody who's wielding these weapons. Another thing that the old prophets of old in your holy texts, like Jesus and Muhammad, they wielded a shepherd's staff. And the shepherd's staff is the same thing. It represents the spine. Because the shepherd is the Jedi. So this is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with this lore of the Jedi. And it comes from this place known as Mendez. But but Mendez is actually, they call it the cult of Mendez, but it's actually known as the priesthood of Djedi, Djedtet. And if y'all want to know what Djed actually means, and Tet also both mean the same thing. They actually mean firmness, balance, preservation, and stability. Because you balance your force inside when you dealing with this energy. So that's what we talk about, the Jedi force. This is what we mean. You've learned to balance that energy inside of you, those forces inside of you, and now they flow not only up through your spine but all through your body, and your source powers within can now touch these outer extremities. You see what I'm saying? They grow arms and legs now. You see what I'm saying? And when they grow arms and legs, you can see the visible effects when you touch that branch, when you move that object, when you summon that rain, or when you manipulate that wind. So you can see those visible immediate effects now because of it. So this is what we talking about when we talk about the Djedi pillar and the Jedi. These were real people. They were also over here too, because this was known as Egypt of the West. So you had the Jedi over here as well. Now the Jedi over here were known. It's called the teachers are called animism and animatism, which the animism teaches you that. Which is more your sensory training and your awareness training, where you learn that everything around you and inside you has a soul. Because the nature and all that is nothing but the extension of the soul of the earth. And animatism is actually the ability to manipulate that environment around you with your consciousness. So that's the Jedi teachings on this side of the planet. But I just want to let y'all know that these teachings were everywhere. This because America was known as Egypt of the West. Here go the old map. Yeah, and you see, United States was known as Egypt. So yeah, we was known as Egypt of the West. Now, what I'm telling you next is, even when you're dealing with Muhammad, they tell you that Muhammad ain't got no connection with the Jedi, but in actuality, Muhammad has a magical name known as Mahomet, Mahomet, which is an anagram of his name Muhammad. And y'all know Mahomet is just a derivative of saying Baphomet, which Baphomet actually comes from, the term Baphomet actually comes from Beneb, that's Baneb, Djedi, Baneb Djedi, which was known as the goat of Mendez or the ram of Mendez. And Baneb Djedi was a very powerful being for what we call this cult of Mendez, this priesthood of Djedi. He was a powerful being because in the stories he was known as the Ba, or the soul of Osiris, the underworld of the subconscious mind, the soul of Geb, which is the soul of the earth, the soul of Shu. Now Shu represents air, but in his story, he separates the atmosphere or elemental wind of the earth from Nut's domain, which is space. So you had this connection with the elemental wind of earth and the universal wind of space. So there you go. So we talking about the soul of the force here. So that's all around us, that flows in, through, and around all living things. So that's what Shu represents. And finally, my favorite is Ra Atum. Beneb Djedi was known as the soul of Ra Atum, and Ra Atum is the solar creator deity. Yes, because Atum is, y'all already know, Ra is the solar deity, but Atum is the creator and the ancient Egyptian lore. So this is where they get this connection from when they said the Baphomet is the creator. Because the Baphomet is the Moorish Knight Templar version of Baneb Djedi, which is the goat of Mendez, or the ram of Mendez, but I want to say the goat of Djedi, yes, because that was the name of the actual region. That was the actual name of the region, and this priesthood, these Jedi masters, this is what they was on. He had a wife by the name of Hatmehit, which is Hatmehit, and she was a fish deity. And anytime you see the fish deity, think Oannes in Babylon, which deals with the subconscious waters. And the subconscious mind, once again, is your true self. This is you dealing with the true. You dealing with your true self when you dealing with your subconscious mind. That's your auto mind, your true inner deity. So yeah. This is what we're dealing with. She has a connection to Isis in the fact that she adopted Horus, or baby Horus, for a while in certain myths. So there go your connection to the champion deity right there. Now and there go your connection to Isis, cause I always tell y'all, if the Baphomet is the creator, the primordial source consciousness, then Isis is this source melanin, or that dark jazzy intelligence that empowers the universe. Everything, creation, everyone. You see what I'm saying? That's that source melanin, that dark intelligence. So that's what we dealing with when we dealing with Hatmehit. And she's a very old deity. Matter of fact, she was the original deity in Mendez. So they started off with the subconscious mind, learning about the subconscious energy. And she was married to Osiris, which makes sense in some myths and stories. So you had that connection as well. So you had the masculine version of the subconscious, and then you had the feminine version of the subconscious. So you had these things. These play out. Now, Baneb Djedi and Hatmehit had a son, and the son deity, or the son, the god that was born from them, was Pan. Now, in Greek mythology, Pan is the shepherd, the hunter the goat god that hunts, and the shepherd, and there go that shepherd energy again. See, there go these connections, this interconnectedness between all these Jedi stories, these Jedi myths. And I told y'all the myths, the myths of the shepherd in the Bible, where Jesus, who is just another Jedi name for Yeshua, his parable of the sheep and the goat, and the sheep was, they said in the Bible that the sheep they listen to God and gain eternal enlightenment, whereas the goat gain eternal punishment. But we all know that's a lie. It's reversed. The sheep are the ones suffering eternal punishment due to their, not only their lack of knowledge, but their willful ignorance of what's going on and denial of their sole purpose. So they're suffering in the world because of this, because of their willful ignorance of what's going on around them, and their denial of what's going on around them. Next, you got this the goat who is those chosen ones who came back, those true Jedi who came back to heal and regenerate the planet and prepare the people and the planet for ascension. This is known as the goat beings in the parable, ones who are steadily always testing themselves so they can acquire higher levels of enlightenment. So that's what the true parable is, not the corruption that they did in Matthew is either 22 or 25. So here go all these connections, all these connections being woofing together, and you starting to see the big picture now of how these stories are nothing but Jedi legends that travel all across the regions, everywhere. Even the stories of Buddha. Buddha was a Jedi. Hell, shit, motherfucker. His mama died before he can go see her, so he ascended up to the sky. He ascended up to the high dimensions and enlighten her soul and free his mama's soul in the soul realms. So this is what we talking about, the Jedi teachings. And Kung Fu, that's all Jedi arts as well. And Qigong, especially Qigong, goddamn, that deals with your internal energy and developing of your meridian system, which is what your Qi or your life force flows through. So this is what we're dealing with. And this is where Hatma also is where Lady Sophia comes from, cause they just oppose Hatma as Lady Sophia in the Gnostic text, cause the Moors in Europe was not studying no Moorish science. That's a lie. The Moors in Europe were studying Gnosticism. That was the science to know, the magical science to know in Europe. Shit, that was the power there. Shit. So y'all can check out Gnosticism and learn about it on your own time, or I might do something on that later, and you learn about the Christ energy or the soul energy and how it works from their perspective, because they were more science. That's just the people using natural sciences. Shit, that's like saying American sciences. You see what I'm saying? Or African sciences. It's just people doing the work in day-to-day culture. That's not the true mysteries. You see what I'm saying? So Hatma got juxtaposed as Lady Sophia in Gnosticism. Bane of Djedi got juxtaposed as the Baphomet, which the Knight Templars worship as their father. Lady Sophia is their mother. You see what I'm saying? And Pan the shepherd, he became known as the shepherd and the hunter. The Jedi who guides the masses with sacred wisdom. You see what I'm saying? So all these connections from the sacred text, all these connections lead back to this coat of Mendez, this priesthood of Djedi. You see what I'm saying? And for a while, during the Nubian Empire, this is, I want to put this out there, they were known as Teti before Jedi. Teti. Then, during the changes of the times or whatever, they switched from Teti to Jedi. You see what I'm saying? Doing it more the ancient Egyptian empires or whatever. So this is what we talking about. And these beings, Bane of Djedi is the creator because he is the soul, the essence of Ra Atum. which is the creator deity. And when we dealing with essence, we talking about your origin, where you come from. We talking about your immortality. We talking about your ability to live forever as a soul. You see what I'm saying? Your original the original expression of the creator. So that's what we talking about when we say soul. Soul is the most powerful thing you have. Everybody has a spirit, because spirit is nothing but your life force guided by your consciousness. That's all it is. So we get into what you like to call, they wore this amulet, which is the amulet of Tet, which is the magic of Tet. You know, cause you had the Magi aspect and then you had the Jedi aspect. Now, when we deal with the amulet of Tet, we talking about they wore these Djed pillar amulets, and they generated magical energy. And when we said Magi, what do the Magi deal with? The Magi deal with the more mystical and multi-dimensional aspects of the Force, whereas the Jedi deals with the more natural and essential aspects of the Force. So the Magi may deal with the spell casting, incantations, enchantments, even hexes. Hell, shit, they had enemies too. Don't forget that. So they dealt with that aspect. They dealt with those aspects of wizardry that we know today. And the Jedi dealt with the more natural, essential, more the energetic, scientific aspects, which is the immediate applications of the Force: telekinesis, fire bending, water bending, earth bending, air bending. You know, space-time manipulation, direct manipulation of space-time, like stopping time, speeding it up, slowing it down, whatever. So this is what we're talking about here. And another thing I want to tell y'all, let's see. Oh yeah, I want to get into. Oh, and I want to show y'all some pictures before I even get to that. This is what Bainel Djedi looks like. If y'all can see him. See what I'm saying? That's him in the middle. Him right here. And you see he had a goat horns, ram horns. So cause the ram is part of the goat family too. And why is it always this goat symbolism? The goat always represented like prosperity, balance, and stability, and fighting spirit and soul in those times. So in ancient Egypt. So that's why they always use the goat energy, especially in this region here. And so that's him. And this is Hotmahit right here. The goddess Hotmahit. Show you, get a little close up there so y'all can see her. Yeah, she you know, she got the fish right there, dealing with the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, the soul binding itself to the subconscious mind, creates your true self or your inner deity. So that's why she rocking on life. The fusion of masculine and feminine energies, cause you're dealing with androgyny when you're dealing with your inner deity, inner self. So now I want to get to Star Wars. Yeah. Now the Star Wars mythos, as y'all know, was created by George Lucas. Now, I've done some research, and the ancestors tell me that the reason why Star Wars is degenerating is because George Lucas did not pay homage to the ancestors like how he was supposed to. He never told you where he got the term Jedi from. And so, since how he never told you or paid homage to the ancestors, it's created a distorted reality. He got people walking around here thinking, and the distortion is, he got people walking around here thinking the Jedi and the Force is not real. That's the distortion. If he had actually just told them where he got the term from, and paid homage to it, that would have like made Star Wars that much more legit. I don't have a problem with a person learning something and getting inspired by it and creating and producing creative works from it. No problem with that at all. Matter of fact, I respect them completely for that. But I always pay homage to where you got this information from, or the energy that the source where you got this information from can come back and bite you later on down the road. And this is what's happening with Star Wars right now. It's degenerating because George Lucas did not pay homage to the ancestors who he got this from, the cult of Mendez or the priesthood of Djedi. He didn't pay homage to them when he found this information. So you know, you want to see the YouTube videos. You know, there's a few interviews with one of his friends, and he's called Sean Stone, and the YouTube channel is known as The Lip TV, LIP TV, and it's talking about Star Wars mythology and its origins in Egypt. And there's an interview with Sean Stone. He even says it like, nah, he probably got the word from the Jedi, because the Jedi is not nothing new. They been around. They telling you this in the interview that the Jedi are nothing new. And then another dude who even went in on that, the fact that the Jedi were nothing new, was this guy by the name of Adam Apollo on YouTube, and he talks about the Jedi and the ancient Egyptian origin of Star Wars. So go check out that video as well. It's Adam Apollo talks about the Jedi and the ancient Egyptian origin of Star Wars. So y'all can see for yourself that this was real. These people lived here. This was a reality at one point, and they actually practice practice generating, harnessing, and directing this force, this life force, this chi, this power. So because George Lucas didn't do what he was supposed to do and telling the people where he got this information from, the word from, he has created the distortion in the timeline of people thinking the Force isn't real. The Jedi aren't real when they're very real. They lived here once. So they gotta check this out. What's up, Brandon? So yeah. This is the problem with this distortion he created. So everybody else pay homage to the ancestors. Why he can't do it? You see what I'm saying? That's why the ancestors pissed off his ass. Well, why you can't do it? The sister Tommy, I forget her last name, but she created the new work, Children of Blood and Bone. She just told it, like, I was out there in Brazil, and I seen the Black Orishas for the first time, and it inspired me to write this work. And now it's a bestseller because she paid homage to the ancestors and where it was from. And she gonna continue to gain success because she paid that homage. But as y'all notice, Star Wars has degenerated each generation a little bit at a time. And this is why. Because he didn't pay homage to where he got this from. So that's my problem with him. But this force, this universal life energy, hell, y'all know it's real. The Asians practice this shit all the time. It's called chi energy over there. But it was called the Djedi energy, the force over there in ancient Egypt. And it was known as animism and animatism over here in America. So everybody, every culture harness this force, this power, this energy. So, and I'm gonna do a video on the force in and of itself later on down the road. So yeah, that's coming soon. But that's the main thing I want to tell y'all. That's the main part of my lecture. You know, the Jedi, the cult of Mendez, so they say. The was actually known as the priesthood of Djedi, which was an actual region. Their capital city was Djedi, and they had this concept of the Jedi or the Jed pillar. You see what I'm saying? And you dealing with this form of enlightenment and preservation. This is one of the most magical regions in Egypt at the time. So this is what we talking about here. So that's pretty much my lecture. And do y'all have any questions? Well, I'm Marvin Jones. Put the word out. Let everybody know what's happening. And I'm out.